Storm.
Is the Iron Bowl the greatest rivalry in college football? I personally believe so. And there are so many great rivalry games. You got the Egg Bowl, which is played on Thanksgiving, the Red River rivalry between Oklahoma, Texas, the Civil War between Oregon and Oregon State. Like, you have so many great games. Oh, let's not also forget the game between Michigan and Ohio State. There are so many great games to choose from. If you were to sit here and say Army Navy, I couldn't get mad at you because of the patriotic portion of that game. But there is something different about the Iron Bowl between Alabama and Auburn. And here's why. So me and my brother, for example, growing up, I'm an Alabama fan. He's an Auburn fan. We shared the same room as kids. And there were times during those Iron Bowl games where it got heated between me and him. Because I'm trying to get my point across, he's trying to get his point across. So we'll have full-on fights. And there were times where I would go to other Iron Bowl parties and I would see people fight. Because the amount of hatred between those both fan bases. Growing up, I used to be in traffic, right? And I will see bumper stickers that says house divided. Or I will go in neighborhoods and I'll see, signs that say house divided. So it's just so much just difference in this game. The game was different. Because early on in my lifetime, I was blessed from 2009 to 2013. I was blessed to see that rivalry because it had national championship game implications every single year. In 2009, Bama wins it. 10, Cam Newton, who was arguably one of the greatest college football players of all time, had the greatest comeback in Iron Bowl history. Down 24 in Bryant-Denny. Let that sink in. He walked into Bryant-Denny down 21 and came back and won 24 and had 24 unanswered points. Went on to win the Heisman, went on to win the Natty that year. 11 and 12, Bama goes back to back. In 13, and that is one of the most heartbreaking defeats of my lifetime as a Bama fan. I would never forget sitting in the barbershop watching Nick Saban decide to kick like a 60-something yard field goal with 1 second left. And Chris Davis taking it back to the house, tight roping the sideline, and absolutely dethroning Alabama's chances of having a three-peat. Because I will forever sit here and say, as a fan, if the kick six does not happen, Bama beats Florida State. Bama annihilates Florida State. And that's no disrespect to James Winston and Jimbo Fisher. That's just the honest truth. And I've been blessed as a fan of Alabama, as a fan of college football, to witness multiple 5+ game winning streaks from each program. From 2002 to 2007, that Auburn run was remarkable. Bama couldn't beat them. And then from 2020 to now, Bama has won 5 in a row. Auburn can't beat them. And there have been some memorable games during this 5-game stretch. Bryce Young leads like a 98-yard drive in Jordan Hare to take it to 4 overtimes and win it. And then again in Jordan Hare, you had the 4th and 31. I was at that game. I witnessed that game in person. And when I tell you, you can hear a pin drop. That is how quiet that stadium got after that happened. Jalen Muro to Isaiah Bond, which is known as the Grave Digger. So I've seen some memorable games. And last year, Iron Bowl, which was a great game. Unfortunately, Cam Coleman fumbles the game away for Auburn. So it's like Auburn can go 0 and whatever, but it's something about that game. Every single year, it's something about that Auburn team in the Iron Bowl. They always show up because it's nothing like winning that one game. All you gotta do is win one. All you gotta do is beat Alabama. All you gotta do is beat Auburn. It's a different feeling if you're a fan of if you're a fan of either one of those programs. See, you got rivalry games like the game between Michigan and Ohio State. They're not in the same state. They're in neighboring states. Yeah, you guys can meet up and play each other, but it's not the same feeling when you're in the same household, when you have the same hatred towards each other. Now, as of lately, Michigan and Ohio State may have been the better rivalry because they both won national championships within the past 5 seasons. They have. They went back to back. Michigan the first year, Ohio State the second year. So, in order for the Iron Bowl to stay at the top of college football, Auburn has to start winning games again. Because I miss those days as a fan where those games had national championship game implications. That's just what it was. Like, that was the story around college football. You either had to go through Alabama or you had to go through Auburn to even get there. Like, that's just how special the Iron Bowl is. Like, there is no rivalry game as special as the Iron Bowl. So, if you're up north, of course, you're probably going to sit here and say the game is the best in college football. But if you're in the South, it is something about that Saturday after Thanksgiving. I remember hearing a story one time. The last time Alabama and Auburn played on Thanksgiving, that was a hell of a game. It was. And I've seen where the Iron Bowl has ruined Thanksgivings. You're sitting there eating candy yams and macaroni and cheese, right? And your team loses. Thanksgiving's ruined. It's over. There is no more Thanksgiving. So it's just a different feeling. If you're an Iron Bowl fan, if you're a fan of either team in the Iron Bowl, it's a different feeling. The Iron Bowl is untouchable when it comes to the best rivalry in all of college football. But again, in order for it to stay there, because Alabama is upholding their end of the bargain. They're upholding it. But in order for it to stay there, Auburn has to continue to be better year after year. They have to make it to a point to where the Iron Bowl has national championship game implications. So I had a buddy of mine ask me this earlier. Let's say the Iron Bowl does get back to national championship game implications. Is there a possibility they play each other twice in the same season? And I had to sit there and think about it. I said, yes, there is a high possibility due to the college football playoff era now. 12 teams. Like, the Iron Bowl, it will hold weight, but they can play each other in the second round, again, in the college football playoffs. So that game still means something. But back in the day, it was even more special due to the fact that it was a one-game season. All you need to do is win one game. You have bragging rights for your state. So, again, there is no rivalry better than the Iron Bowl. In the words of the great J.D. Piquel, I will see y'all next time.